Hi everyone, welcome to Lecture 22 on Basic Inorganic Chemistry. My name is Dr. Teresa Chimambam. Today we will cover acid-base neutralization reactions, and we will also study how to balance neutralization equations. Let's look at acid-base neutralization reactions. When an acid and a base with equal amounts of hydrogen ion and hydroxide ions are combined, a neutral compound is formed. Let's have a look at these examples. This is a base, potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide has these ions, K plus and OH minus. So this positive and negative will be equal to 0 because plus and negative is equal to 0. It will cancel out. For HCl, it has H plus and Cl minus, so one positive, one negative equal to 0. So this is why we have potassium chloride formed, because there is one negative for chlorine and there's one positive for potassium. So positive and negative equal to 0. Also for calcium hydroxide, calcium has 2 plus and OH has 2 minus. So 2 plus 2 minus is equal to 0. The same thing is applicable for HCl. So this is the reason why we have a neutral calcium chloride, because calcium has 2 plus, chlorine molecule has 2 minus, so 2 minus and 2 plus equal to 0. So this is why calcium chloride exists as a neutral compound, and this is why potassium chloride exists as a neutral compound, because the charge for potassium and chlorine is equal to 0, and the charge for calcium and chlorine molecule also equal to 0. So this is the reason why they exist as neutral compounds. Now we learn how to balance neutralization equations. If you are asked to write the products and balance the equation for the reaction that occurs when H2SO4 reacts with iron 3 hydroxide, the first thing you do is to count the number of hydrogen ions here. It is 2 because we have H2 here. You count the number of OH ions here. It is 3 because we have OH3. So 2H plus and 3OH minus, they are not balanced. So we need to balance both. If we add 3 here, we will have 3 multiplied by 2, it will be 6H plus. And if we add 2 here, it will be 2 multiplied by 3, it will be 6OH minus. So 6H plus, 6OH minus, they are both balanced. If we combine 6H plus and 6OH minus, we will get 6 water molecules. So this means that 6 water molecules is one of our products. So the remaining elements are 3SO4 because we have already taken care of H plus ions. And here the remaining elements are 2 ions. So if we combine the remaining ones, 3SO4 and 2 iron, we will get iron 3 sulfate. So this means that iron 3 sulfate is our second product. So now we have gotten all our products, 6 water molecules. When we combine 6H plus and 6OH minus and iron 3 sulfate, when we combine 3SO4 and 2 iron. So the balanced equation is 3H2SO4 plus 2 molecules of iron 3 hydroxide gives iron 3 sulfate plus 6 molecules of water. This is the balanced equation for the reaction that occurs when H2SO4 reacts with iron 3 hydroxide. So whenever you are asked to balance any neutralization equation, the first thing you do is to count the number of hydrogen ions and the number of OH ions. And if they are not balanced, you add the required coefficients to the reactants to make the number of hydrogen ions equal to the number of OH ions. And once you balance the hydrogen ions and OH ions, you can combine the hydrogen ion and the OH ion. You will get one of the products of the reaction, and when you combine the remaining elements, you will get the remaining product. So this is how to balance neutralization equations. Let's look at another example. If you are asked to write the products and balance the equation for the reaction between HCl and strontium hydroxide, the first thing you do is to count the number of hydrogen ions. Here it is 1. You count the number of OH ions. Here it is 2. So here, hydrogen ions, here it is only 1 because we have just one hydrogen here. And here OH ions, it is 2 because we have OH2. So H plus and OH minus are not balanced. We need to balance both. So if we add 2 here, we will have 2H plus, and then it will be balanced with 2OH minus. We do not need to add any number here because 2H plus is already balanced with 2OH minus. And when you combine 2H plus plus 2OH minus, you will get 2 water molecules. So 2 water molecules is one of our products. The remaining elements are chlorine and strontium because we have already taken care of hydrogen and OH ions. So 2Cl minus, because we have already taken care of these 2H, so it's remaining 2Cl, and strontium because we have already taken care of OH ions. So if we combine 2Cl minus and strontium 2 plus, it will give us SrCl2. We put this Cl2 because we have 2Cl minus. So to take account of 2Cl minus, we add the 2 here. So this is the product that will be formed when we combine 2Cl minus and strontium 2 plus. So you do not need to put the charge when you are writing the product. So the balanced equation is 2HCl plus strontium hydroxide gives strontium chloride plus 2 molecules of water. Now that we have solved some examples, it will be good for you to practice this one that I have here. Write the equation for the neutralization between calcium hydroxide and nitric acid. So you practice this question and see whether you will get the answer. So this is the solution to the practice question. You try to solve it first and then check whether you got the correct answer. Right, this is where I'm gonna end for today's lecture. Please like this video and subscribe. And I will see you in the next lecture.